Welcome to the 100 Master Coaches series featuring master coaches from around the world. Let's journey together on this 100 Master Coaches series with your host, Coach Mel, MCC. Marianna Lead is a Master Certified Coach and an ICF Credentialing Assessor since 2008. She's the founder of Imagery Coaching Academy, a globally recognized ICF accredited school offering training for all ICF credentials. Her signature holistic life, career and executive coach training is taught in 6 languages, and her alumni span 90+ countries. A pioneer in integrating emotion and imagination into coaching, Marianna has worked with FEMA, EY, and American Airlines. She co-authored Me, My Brand and Why, and founded the 18,000+ member LinkedIn group ICF Coach Mentors and ICF Coaches. Now on to the show.
Hello, and welcome to the 100 Master Coaches show. This is Coach Mel, and today my special guest, all the way from New York City, is none other than Marianna Lead. Welcome to the show, Marianna.
Thank you so much, Mel. It's a small world, right? Zoom unites everything and everyone.
Absolutely. Marianna, we often ask on this show, tell us about your life before coaching, and obviously tell us about yourself as well.
Yes, my life is extremely eclectic. It's less now than it used to be when I came to the United States. I wasn't born in the United States. English is not my native language, as you probably have guessed. I still have an accent. I'm originally from Kiev, from Ukraine, actually. But I lived in New York for many, many years. I came here in 1979.
Wow, okay. That's a while ago.
1979. And did everything as I was supposed to do, like a check mark. So I got married, I had a baby, I got divorced, and basically, grew her up by myself. I have a daughter, a wonderful daughter. She's 39 today. Not today, but, this year. And I have 2 grandkids. Grandkids and 2 cats. Thank you. So life is long. Life is long and interesting, right? With interesting turns and twists.
It sounds like it's complete. 2 grandkids, 2 cats. It's gonna keep you a lot busy, no?
It does, absolutely. Yeah, Monday to Thursday my cats, Friday to Sunday my kids, my grandkids.
Wow. It just seems like you're either drinking some wonderful potion to look this amazing with a 39-year-old child. Oh, I mean, not child anymore, but adult. I must get the recipe from you later. Okay. Tell us how you thrived in a brand new world, like in America. I would love to know that part of the story.
Well, Mel, you probably understand that being of more than one culture.
Yes.
And there's a saying. I don't know if it's the same thing saying here or not. Like, you can take the wolf out of the forest, but you can't take forest out of the wolf. Out of the wolf, right? So I still consider that background that I have, Soviet background, is kind of there. I'm very much about community, about supporting each other. This is how I was brought up. I mean, the good parts of being there. But I'm also a rebel, and that's why I left. I left because I wanted to stand up for those who I felt were offended, neglected, abused, and you don't have voice, in that type of society. So that's why I left. And I'm glad I did so, because I was thinking about how my children are going to be growing up, whatever society I want for my kids. So how did I adjust? The first thing I did, I went to a library, because I think that the first thing that we needed to do when we come from different country is to actually start learning the language.
Yeah.
Because the language is the culture. The language is history. Once you are able to communicate, then you're in. If you can't communicate, if people can't understand you, then you're out. Right?
Yeah, so true.
And I have to say that America is very, or used to be, very embracing kind of country, like especially New York City, because New York City is and was always regarded as a melting pot, right?
Yeah.
Melting pot of all different cultures. So everyone here has some kind of accent and some kind of difference in their background and their culture.
Yeah.
And so that was helping me to adjust, because I didn't feel like I had to necessarily become like everyone else, but I did need to understand what people were saying to me, and I did need to be understood. So that was a huge obstacle. And I think that for the first couple of years, I was just learning English for 5-6 hours a day. I was learning English.
So many questions that I want to ask you. Have you always been in NYC all this while?
Pretty much. Lived in Pennsylvania for a couple of years when my daughter was growing up, but it's still East Coast, and then I came back to New York.
And I'm sensing, Marianna, this vibe that NYC has. I've only been there once, and I love the vibe, actually. I really do. Contrary to what maybe others say of how New York can be a little bit rough and a little bit edgy and maybe even not so safe. I was walking in the streets at 1 a.m. and no one took attention of me in that sense. I kind of blended in. I went up to the Empire State Building and so on and so forth. And really, I felt the city. I don't know how to say this any better. I felt the heartbeat of the city.
Well, I ran away from that heartbeat about 7 years ago.
Okay.
It's just too much. It's very hectic. It's very, especially after COVID. And now I'm still in New York, but I live on Long Island. So I bought a private house and I'm surrounded by deer and rabbits.
That's amazing. Yes. Maybe I'll go to Long Island one day and visit. Okay. So yes, tell us how you stepped into the world of coaching.
Well, I was always attracted to psychology. I was a people watcher, if there's such a thing, a people watcher.
Yes.
I would literally just watch. I could just sit on the bench or when I was on a train and just literally very curious to just watch people.
Yeah.
I find human behavior like totally fascinating, like what makes us respond or react one way or the other.
Yeah.
That kind of deeper curiosity about what is behind the facade, and I couldn't afford to become a psychologist for many different reasons.
Yeah.
Mostly time-wise, and also I did go to understand what it would take, and decided not to go that way because it was mostly about fixing someone and learning all kind of abnormalities of human psyche, and that I wasn't interested in that.
Yeah.
I think that normal people are strange enough. Like normal, like what is normal? Who is normal? I'm not normal, right? So, and I was curious about that. And positive psychology didn't exist at that point yet. It wasn't a thing. Yeah. And so I went a little bit of a different route. But then when coaching showed itself and was available, I just got glued to it, got so attracted to it. My first encounter was the meeting in New York City, the ICF-NYC meeting. And I immediately felt like I belonged there. I liked everything about it. I liked the people. I liked the presentation. I liked the way it was done. I liked the environment. After that meeting, I immediately went to people who seemed to be the leaders of the meeting. I just came up to them and said, "How can I get involved?"
Wow.
That's it.
And I note that you've been president of NYC ICF twice. Is that correct?
Mm.
Tell me about that journey inward, what coaching does a lot to a lot of people, which is that, all that self-realization, awareness, transformation with self outward as well, and how we respond to the world around us, to environment, and how the big family ICF is to us. So tell us about that involvement.
Yeah, well, so that's how it started. I came up and I said, how can I be of value? I really want to get involved.
Yeah.
And, they still have all kind of special interest groups.
Okay.
And back then we had like 7 or 8 of them. I don't, like a lot of different special interest group. Like for instance, there was a life coaching special interest group, corporate coaching interest group, career coaching, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And so I was getting involved with every single group I could get my hands on. And I was going to Manhattan, right, to different people, and they were hosted at different apartments, at different people's houses. So it was very private, right? It was very personal.
Yeah.
And this is how I started to establish relationships. And 6 months in, the president, current president, right, came up to me and said, "Would you consider becoming a vice president?" And I wasn't on the board yet. I wasn't even a coach yet, really. I was literally just learning how to be a coach. And I looked at him and said, "Are you kidding me?" That was my are you kidding me? And he's like, "No," because he knew that I was involved in acting. And he said, "Well, what our vice presidents do, they literally line up speakers for our monthly meetings.
Yeah.
And who would be better at this than you?" And I'm like, "Okay."
Well
just
done.
like that. And literally 6 months after I joined, I didn't have any credential. I hardly understood what coaching was.
Yeah.
And I was the vice president. Right? And so, and I was on the board of directors for like seven years. And so after the vice presidency, I opened up a TV show. And
Okay.
I had a TV show called Life Coach TV.
Okay.
And it was on behalf of the board of directors. So they were supporting the show, and I was doing the show for the ICF-NYC. And I was interviewing different coaches like you do now on Manhattan Cable, at my local TV station every single week. So that was one more evening that I had to travel to the city and hire a babysitter to be with my baby.
Yes.
And so that was my life, right? And after that, I was just elected president, and I was elected again. We did a lot of initiatives. I brought a lot of new ideas because I'm an idea person. And so I brought a lot of new ideas. We did a lot of wonderful things. Won an award from ICF-NYC for ICF-NYC. Doubled the membership under me. Doubled it. And did lots of interesting stuff.
Wow. I hear so many different things happening there. Besides, obviously, your personal life, it's a handful, I'm sure. You were so involved in so many areas. It's like you had your hands in different jars at the same time, and you could manage that. And I'm thinking quietly, it's like, is that the way we're called to? Passionate when you put your full self into things happen. Did you have a mantra like that besides being a rebel that you say you are?
I think it's about being a visionary. It's about having faith.
Wow.
And I have to say that there were plenty of times when I said, okay, well, if it's not supposed to happen, if it's not meant to be, then it's not going to be. Okay. Because in the beginning, right, I mean, it's difficult to get clients.
Yeah.
It feels I used to feel like an impossible thing to get done. When I found out that you need 2,000 hours to become an MCC, it seemed like an impossibility. I'm like, I
Yeah.
can't even get the first first 5
Yeah.
clients. How am I going to get there? It's like flying
Yeah.
to the moon in 1930s, like when you're thinking about flying to the moon and you're in 1930s, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but it is possible. Time goes by and things gonna happen and things adds up. It just adds up. I think it's about focus also. The
Yeah.
focus. I just wasn't interested in pursuing anything else with the same level of intensity, I should
Yeah.
say.
Yeah.
And I think that when you put yourself fully into something, something cracks. It's like the universe is going to come meet you halfway eventually. It's just going to say, okay, all right, she wants it so
Yeah.
badly here.
Give it to her. Right?
Give it to
It's
her already. Give it to this woman. Oh my
my
goodness.
gosh. She's on cable TV anyway, right? So tell me about that, the involvement in TV and Screen's Guild, if I read your profile correctly. How does that connect? I'm new to this, by the way. I'm sorry. I'm not an actor. Sorry. Yeah, I'm a host, of a show. Far from it. So tell me.
You're doing very well,
Oh,
Mel. I
thank
have
you.
to
Thank
say.
you.
No, I think that you were a very, very kind, gracious host, and you make me feel very comfortable, and you ask really nice questions.
Oh,
So I have to say, yes. You would have made a great actor. If it would be up to me, I'd be hiring all my friends.
I hope not too late to change career. I mean, or to add on. Okay, continue, please.
Well, acting is here anyway. In the United States, it's extremely competitive thing. It's so competitive that it's discouraging, and I wasn't able to make it like big so that you would say, "Oh, Marianna Lead. I know her from like seeing this or that movie." No,
Yeah.
unfortunately, right? But I went a really good theater training. And I did get a couple of parts in some movies, and that got me into Screen Actors Guild. So Screen Actors Guild is a professional guild where you can't just buy your way in. You have to do work, and then you have to pay dues. Pretty much, it's a union, right?
Yes.
And then as a union actress, you do have some privileges, and. Like for instance, just one of them that I really enjoyed for many years was to be able to see the opening of every single movie that was aired, and get the CDs, and on the openings, the actual the actors who act in those movies that come in, and then they respond to Screen Actors Guild actors who are viewing the movie. It's like a closed viewing.
Yes.
So. And then also you get to be on the nomination award committee for Academy Awards that you were mentioning, and I was on one of those committees. So that stuff is like kind of exciting,
Yeah.
But it doesn't feed you. It doesn't pay your bills, though.
Yes.
Right. And so that's why you see so many actors becoming waiters, bartenders, you name it, right? Because they are always looking for professions that are flexible enough time-wise so they could go on auditions, but something that's going to actually pay their bills. And so I said to myself, this is not life for me.
Okay.
I mean, it sounds very nice when you don't have children and we don't have those responsibilities. But if you have children and you want to be at home at a certain time versus coming home at 4 o'clock in the morning, it just doesn't work, right? So I had to make some choices. But another strength that I have and always had was teaching. Like if I understand something, even if I don't like the topic, like math, like I can't stand math, but if I understand it, I can explain it to a rock. And so I opened up my own acting studio, and I had and I was teaching young actors. When I say young, I mean adults. I didn't teach children, but so I did teach in their 20s. They were in their 20s. I also taught like older teenagers, like 18, 19, so, and that was exciting for me. And I use a lot of my acting techniques. I use in coaching too.
Oh,
And I use in teaching coaching because I also teach coaching, and I use
yes.
my acting skills when I'm teaching, like, a lot. Coaching has a lot to do with improvisation, right? Because you don't have a
Yeah.
script. You never know what your client is going to show up with. You have to be really quick on your toes, and it comes in handy.
Yeah. Even though I agree with you, this is the first time I'm really officially hearing it, that it's part of improv. So now I'm telling myself, that's what I've been doing for the last 20 years. Improv,
Yeah.
Mel.
That's right.
It's like it's being in a place of not knowing, right? You get a script and you're like, okay, I gotta be this person. Okay. So, but I think it's different, right? It's different to kind of like, put on a mask and also be yourself. You know what I mean? On the other side. And you can be improv, acting as someone, with the techniques obviously of that, but that the essence of the person I sense is a big part of who you are as a coach, and hence who you attract to work with you. What were your thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yeah. Okay.
100%.
I'd like to just jump into that bit when, I noticed that not every coach becomes a teacher and own a coaching school for that matter as well. So tell us about that journey, how that began.
Well, let's just go back to, according to ICF, right? We see clients as whole, creative, and resourceful.
Resourceful, yeah.
Right. And so I think that for us, the challenge is how to create their inner resources. And we believe that it starts with getting them to get to their answers through unleashing their imagination and emotions.
Yeah.
And when I was starting my journey, I was always kind of, getting shush, like, stop that, right? Because back in 2002, ICF was very cautious about utilizing emotions. We were then really trying to separate ourselves from psychology.
Yeah.
And we were afraid that it's going to give mixed messages. And so anytime that the coaching conversation would go into, well, so how does it make you feel? I was getting frowns. I was getting kind of, like, no, you're not supposed to be doing that. Right. And I was the first one who started saying, yes, that's exactly what we're supposed to be doing. That's the whole point. Like, there's nothing more important than feelings, because, well, I mean, logic is just as important, but you have to address both things, because feelings is motivation, right? If you don't feel something, you're just not going to be achieving it. We're helping clients achieve goals and they're not motivated to go after them. And we're not talking about their feelings. It's just not happening. So it's interesting how everything evolved, and how now we're looking even at the table of competencies, levels, comparison of the levels, and that was created in 2009, how even 2009, about awareness, creating awareness, it says that the exploration precedes going after the results, and the feelings are being acknowledged, the feelings, the emotions, the imagination, and that kind of started that movement towards, maybe it's important and maybe we could explore that with clients, as long as we don't go into drama too much, right? So I
like that. Trauma and drama. True.
So look, I say that we it's like dipping into the past, because past is our experiences, and past is what makes us us, right? But we are using the past from the perspective of how we can utilize it to go forward, right? And that's the difference between like psychology and coaching. And I said to myself, if I don't see something that I'm drawn to, then maybe I should start my own.
Yeah.
And being a really good teacher and designer of programs, and at that time I already, I was teaching at NYU, New York University. I had my own model. I had my goal imagery, and it was just literally a natural next step to create a school that would embrace all of the niches and all of the niches and all of the popular philosophies, approaches, versus just singling one or two and offering that. So like I saw that there was I saw a few issues with education and coaching, and I knew that I could offer something that doesn't exist anywhere else. And that's exactly what I did. I created a course, and then another course, and so now we have all levels approved. There are very few schools that have all 3 levels approved, and the AATC. So ICF came up with a team coaching credential quite recently. We have a program that's approved specifically for that as well. So I've been an assessor for ICF since 2008. And even right now, today, I'm on a committee that is upgrading a guide resource for MCC assessors on how to do the assessments for MCC. And we have 5 MCC coaches on that committee worldwide, and I'm one of them. Yes.
Thank you for doing all that grounding, that importance of, from creating something that was not there. And I think that that's also part of the exploration of coaching, isn't it? It's going out there and creating that world that perhaps exists in our minds, but not in reality. And that's what you did. You went out there and did that, continued to contribute. What would be your advice for someone coming in? I mean, 2025 is not in those good old days, if I can say that. It's a very different world we live in today. What would be some of your advice for someone coming in this a little bit more crowded space right now in coaching?
In terms of how to build their coaching practice, advice, you asking, or something else?
Well, we'll start with generic first, representing the whole person as they are.
I think that the beautiful thing is your difference and the difference that you bring. And you can't bring the difference without being different. Right? You have to acknowledge and embrace who you are, right? Embrace who you are and then bring it to the world. And that's beautiful. I was very conscious of my accent. It have become lighter. I still have it. But someone told me, look at Deepak Chopra. Like, I love Deepak Chopra. Deepak Chopra is I love listening to his lectures. I've read all of his books. And, you listen to him, and even today, he still has a pretty heavy accent. Does it bother you? No. It's exotic because it's different. It makes you listen better. And that's the thing. That's it, right? It makes people listen more to you because they're trying to literally understand what you're saying. It claims for more attention, and we should celebrate our differences and honor your own, whoever you are. Just honor it and bring it in fully.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, on the business side of things, right? What happens? What do you think?
And on the business side of things, I think that, first of all, when you do a good job, eventually it pays off, right? So when I started, I didn't have a Rolodex, right? Because I wasn't born here. I didn't have any connections. I created them. Like I was saying, I was going to a meeting every single night. I wasn't getting paid for it, but I was creating relationships. I was creating many, many very good relationships. Some of those people, I'm still friends. I'm still in communication. So it's pretty amazing how it all evolves. And so it's about getting involved and getting to know other people. and coming in not from the position, what can you give me, but from the position, what value can I bring? And if you're coming from that position, then people will be giving you freely much more than you can possibly imagine. So you give, and then you will receive back. So, right, if I would have come in and said, hey, how can you make me famous? To the board of directors, I don't think I would have had any response. Right, versus coming in and saying, hey, how can I bring value? I want to stay. I want to do something that's useful for you guys.
Yeah. It is the golden rule or the cardinal rule, whatever you call it. Give and it shall be given back to you. And in a lot of cultures around the world, right, they talk about that. And that bit of giving is also tied to your own gift. Because if you don't have a gift to give out, that's my belief, then we're giving out of something else, that is not authentic to ourselves. So it is also important to understand the gift as well as having the heart to give. Yeah.
Yes, I think that what you're touching upon right now is that journey of self-awareness and journey of self-acceptance. Yeah. And I think that maybe not all MCCs are born equal, as you say, but I think that that's the road that's the journey, right? The journey to yourself, to fully accept, to fully understand, and then you can give in a very authentic way. So according, even when you look at the MCC, when you're looking at the definitions, it's we bring value just by being there. There is no attachment to bring value or to prove something or to push or to pull the client into anything, right? You just bring your full presence and you're there in the moment. And that energy is very different energy that you bring.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell me, Marianna, what needed to shift within you, right, for you to accept those things that perhaps you were running away from inside of yourself before you finally said, you know what, I'm going to allow that to be part of my superpower and allow that to really reside inside of me and out as well, and live a happier, more engaged life, I guess. So tell me about that inward journey of yours.
Yes. Okay, well, I was afraid to open up my school. I was very much afraid. People kept hiring me to give them consultations on their business building. And I was giving away so many ideas, sometimes for pay, sometimes for free.
Yeah.
And I got kind of pissed at myself at some point. I get upset with myself at some point, thinking, why? Why am I doing this and not doing this myself? It doesn't make any sense. If you know how to build it. And at that time, there was this person who kept picking my brain because he was going to create something for like a big training, but it wasn't really happening.
Yeah.
And he kept picking my brain, and I just got fed up. And I'm like, why am I wasting my time?
Yeah.
If I'm telling him how to do it, how to build it, why can't I just literally do what I tell him to do? Well, and so, and even though it's logical and it doesn't look like it's a difficult task from outside in, it's an internal stuff. It's incredible how the risks, you feel the risk that are not even there, but you kind of feel it. And you're like, oh my God, am I going to do this? But then you do it. I had a similar experience when I actually rented a theater. When I decided I'm going to teach acting, because I just got so sick of going on interviews, auditions, not getting it, sometimes getting it, waiting for the phone call. And I said, you know what, I'm not going to be waitering. I'm just going to open up my own studio and I'm going to teach a class and I'm going to make money this way. And, I mean, the space is extremely expensive in the city,
Yeah.
in Manhattan. And I was very scared to do that. And then eventually it's like, well, like if you have students, if you have something lined up, it's possible to do so that you're not going to lose money. You have to be smart about it. You have to take calculated risk. But eventually, if you don't do it, it's just not going to happen
Of
ever,
course.
because no one is going to give it to you.
Yeah.
And you will never make as much money as you want or as you can by working for someone else. This is the fact, right? So,
Yeah.
and then I did it, and then in the beginning, just like with my business, even with coaching too, same thing. It's like those first steps are scary. When you say, okay, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to commit, and I'm going to get it done. And at first, it doesn't happen, and then it's becoming a little easier, and then you do a good job, and then people start talking about you, and then they start referring to you people, and people who you coach, and then they refer other clients to you, or now the school, and then the students refer other students to you. We have 70% of our students serve by referral. So when you do a good job, right, and people are going to come, they're going to appreciate it, but you have to have patience with yourself. You have to have trust. Not everything is going to be perfect all the time, because it doesn't work like that. There are going to be ups and downs. But if you don't believe in yourself, then why should anyone believe in you?
Absolutely. I'm also getting this sense, Marianna, that that's this space in time that we've got to acknowledge all those things happening inside of us in that journey, which is a tough one. Let's put it out there. It's not an easy ride to where you want to go. Just like when we work with our clients, right? Some of the things that we're challenging them forward are not the everyday walk in the park, right? And then there comes a time for them to start allowing that acknowledgement to turn into their own self-proclamation or announcement to the world. Right? They're ready to announce that I am doing this. Tell me how important that is, of that acknowledgement and then announcement to the world. I am starting a school, from acting school to a coaching school. So please.
I actually wrote a book about that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Tell
right
me.
behind me. It's like me, my brand, and why.
Yeah.
And so when I work with people, because this is my journey, and I wrote it out as a coaching guide with my co-writer, Maureen Miller. And I have to say that it's a process, right? It's a process where
Yeah.
you kind of pinpoint something that's important for you. Like in this case, it's your brand. And then there is this period where you want to keep it a secret. And
Yeah.
you're still kind of scared, almost like you're afraid to spook it. Like as if you say it out loud, it's just
Not
going
gonna
to
work.
disappear
Yeah,
someplace.
exactly.
It's not going to work, right? It's like we kind of keep it to ourselves. But then it's like, okay, it's time. And then it's always scary still.
Yeah.
And then you come out of the cocoon and then you say it out loud.
Mm.
And so it's like on my LinkedIn profile, I actually said it, like I said, like, here's what I believe and here's what I am. I am what I believe. This is my philosophy of life. This is what I represent. This is my why, right?
Yeah.
And so I think that it all falls in that category. If you are clear about why you're here, what's important to you, then you can do all of the things that are important and meaningful, and not to feel regret, because even if it doesn't work out, you still had the journey that you were supposed to have. This is your journey.
And please tell us, what is that inner why that gets you up every single day, I guess, to head on back into the track and practice, and of course into races and to win races. What is your inner why, Marianna?
My why is that the best in me brings out the best in you.
Wow. And it starts
Yeah.
with us first. right? It always does, isn't it? It starts with the person in the mirror. Yeah, we can only be as effective as how effective we are asking those questions to ourselves. That's what I reckon as well. Mm. So many similarities, Marianna.
It's
Um,
nice to hear.
Thank you. What do you think that future of coaching ahead of us looks like? I mean, there is so much with AI and all the tech that is coming in, right? What is your guess on how coaching will be landing into our world?
I love ChatGPT. I'm like totally in love with him. He has a name. We have a relationship.
That's good. That's good.
Right. He helps me a lot. I know I refer to him as a him. But the point is that, yes, I think that AI is going to take over a lot of coaching jobs, but it's a good thing
Yeah,
because it's going to be more affordable. It's going to be inseminated more in organizational cultures.
yeah,
It's going to be more helpful because more people are going to be able to benefit from it. But I think that what it's also going to do is to wake up training schools into training really outstanding coaches because no one can replace you and no one can replace me. So, when we're speaking about masterful coaching, there is no AI that can replace that. But basic coaching, like ACC level coaching,
yeah,
yes, absolutely. So
yeah,
I'm not threatened by it. I think that it's a good thing. And I think that it's going to popularize coaching even more, make it more
yeah.
accessible.
Yeah, totally. Totally agree with that. I say that with a bit of caution as well. The advent and the speed of how AI is going month by month is also going to change a lot of things in the future. I do feel that bit of that humanity that we bring, if I can say that, and that humanity mixed with the experience that we've gone through, like you said, and the culture that we bring as well. And when you put all of that together, it's a beautiful melting pot, using your words, of greatness and humility at the same time, all coming beautifully together. And that offering comes out very authentic, very real, very human, very acceptable, and very different as well to the people out there. What are your thoughts on that?
I totally agree. Yes. We are connected on LinkedIn. I write a lot of posts like here and there about AI because I do feel that we have this kind of relationship. It's almost weird, right? And I think that AI, ChatGPT specifically, I'm not talking about other AIs,
Yeah.
but ChatGPT learned the best of humanity. I mean, it was taught the best of humanity. And that's why it's becoming so popular because it knows how to listen. It knows how to
That's true.
return back. It knows how not to judge, which is like a
Yeah,
lot of things that right? A lot of things that
that's true.
AI does is very coaching like. Like I'm always posing these questions. If AI was able to learn how to be responding as a human, why can't we be kinder? Why can't we respond more as humans? Why do we still have wars? Why the society around the world? Why can't we learn from past mistakes? We don't seem to be able to learn.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Yeah, I'm going to go there now, and that feel I'm getting with that importance of how, as a coach, social justice and equality and representation is so important in what we do and what we stand for. Tell me about your thoughts on that, please.
I agree. It's important. I think that coaching mindset should be just a mindset. We should be respectful to each other
Yeah,
as human
yeah,
beings. We
yeah,
should be accepting. We should not be guilting each other. We should be
yeah,
accepting and supporting each other. And
yeah,
I think that's the beauty of coaching culture.
yeah,
And a lot of organizations, right, they have these statements, mission statements on their walls, and no one is following that. It's just like a whatever. It's just for the view. So how do we do it so that it actually has a meaning, so that we're actually treating each other as human beings?
Yeah.
If we can make that happen, now maybe this civilization is not going to stop again,
Absolutely. And I think we're also resilient enough, even though we need reminders, we need things like that, sometimes bad things to happen, to kind of bring things together. It's a bit of a paradox. It kind of tells me that the human race has learned a lot and then has forgotten. And we need to have this constant, grind on learning it again and again, because it's just hard to comprehend all of the things that you just said. And then the need for the desires that we have, that control and power and growth just for me, without sharing it with anyone else. So that's the world we live in, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Marianna, it's been a pleasure. I could go on talking to you. It's really a pleasure having you on the show. There are probably organizations, let me just say, that are still reluctant, or maybe they are all still on the fence on what coaching can do. And I guess it's not just coaching as a methodology, but that whole support, right, that they can give to their people. What do you say to organizations like that who are still on the fence?
Well, I just think that eventually it's going to become a factor of whether they want to be competitive enough or not, right? So if it's not about the heart, then it's about where it hurts, which is money, right? If they want to be a competitive organization, and other organizations are going to be winning because they do have coaches, and we know that organizations who hire coaches, they just produce more, better, faster, so it just really becomes common sense at the end.
Unfortunately, it's not very common sometimes. Okay, let me stop there. Any last thoughts for the world, Marianna?
I wanted to say thank you, Mel. It was wonderful to chat with you as well. I can stay here for much, much longer too. I think that we're really having a nice energy on the show. And I really hope that your listeners, your viewers are going to enjoy this chat.
They certainly will.
Follow you and follow me.
That's right. Please, if you've not followed Marianna, she is definitely a person that you must follow. So please go out there and link up with her. This has been more than pleasurable. This to me has been a bit of a coming home for me. It's coming to the end of the 100 Master Coaches very soon, because I set that as a goal, no pun intended, with the goal imagery that you always talk about. But it started off as that, and I needed to challenge myself. If I didn't set that 100, I probably stopped at 25 or something like that. I'm glad I did, and I'm glad I pushed through. And it's because of that meaningful conversations that I was having with wonderful MCCs across the world, like yourself, Marianna. So thank you for the gift that you bring to the world.
And you too, Mel, because if it wouldn't be for your show, we probably wouldn't even be heard like that. So that's very important.
Well, this has been the 100 Master Coaches show today with Marianna and myself, Mel. Encouraging everyone out there to go out there and also inside, look at the mirror, enjoy what you see, come out there celebrating who you are, and the world will receive you with the gifts that you bring. Take care, everybody. God bless you. Catch you soon. Bye-bye.
You have been watching the 100 Master Coaches series with your host, Coach Mel, MCC. Brought to you by Catalyst Coach. www.catalystcoach.live. We will be right back with our next Master Coach on the 100 Master Coaches series.